What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to a frustrated player ratings video here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool were deservedly beaten by 3-2 at Craven Cottage by Marco Silva's Fulham. A result that does still keep us 11 points clear at the top of the Premier League, but let's be honest about it. The end to the season is feeling like a frustrating one. We're all worried about the future, and of course we do have questions as well about the manager's insistence on, delaying too long before bringing on players that can change the game. So I'm going to go through, give the referee, the players, the substitutes and the coach a score out of 10. You guys have already played along. Some of you, and you'll see the player ratings image in the upper right hand corner being the one from the Anfield Agenda audience. The large square in the centre, as always, is my one. And if you want to play along in the comment sections, we'd love you to do so. Let us know your thoughts as well on the game. And of course, if you can, drop a like on the video. Wouldn't be here today though without the support of our incredible sponsors, Manscaped. Each and every match day they show up and they do us proud, and hopefully you guys can treat yourself to something from manscaped.com. Why not check out the Chairman Pro Package Face Shaving Kit and treat yourself to 20% off and free shipping. That is 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com. The Chairman Pro Package Face Shaving Kit is one that I use myself and can say works very, very well. Everything comes in that lovely little travel case as well to keep it safe and secure. And again, you can get 20% off and free shipping store-wide with a code Anfield20 or by scanning the QR code in the bottom right-hand corner. Right, let's talk about the referee, Chris Kavanagh. I thought he was all right. To be honest, nothing majorly great, nothing majorly wrong. I thought that he was okay, and it certainly wasn't the referee's fault that we lost that game. So for the referee, I've given him a 6.5, and the audience, again, feeling it's not really down to a poor refereeing performance or anything, giving Chris Kavanagh an average score there of 5.8. Next up, we come to Craven Cottage. And look, I got to say, this was a game I felt disappointed in Craven's performance. I'm not saying at all that he was to be at fault for any of it, but I felt like he could have done better on a few occasions. And look, defensive frailties today cost us. We'll come on to talk about that more in a minute. But for me, today I've given Craven a score of 5.5, and the Anfield Agenda audience a little bit lower with a score of 5 there for Craven. Now we move on to Andy Robertson, who I don't think had the worst game ever, but definitely had a moment that cost us deeply in the game. Any defender or any young player playing out there will know you're told never play the ball back across your own front of your goal. Even if you're a professional footballer like Andy Robertson, there's a really good camera angle of that moment, and there was 2 Liverpool players down the left-hand side that he could have utilised with a longer ball. But instead, I don't know what he sees, but he tries to play it and square it back across his goal, and it leads to Fulham scoring a goal. And again, all of our own making. Today, from Andy Robertson, disappointingly, I'm going to have to give him a score of 6 because I think he did well in other parts of the game. The audience have gone for a 3.4, which I understand. I just don't think that Robertson was the biggest problem defensively for us today. I think the centre-backs were the culprits there. But Andy Robertson did make a mistake, so maybe my 6 is a little bit too generous. But outside of that mistake, I didn't think he was the worst culprit today. So 6 for me, 3.4 for the audience. Next up, our captain, Virgil van Dijk. Just awful. Not good enough in any way, shape or form. It's too slow in starting our attacks, and a lot of it does go through Virgil. Too slow in moving his players around. Too weak when in battles with centre forwards. How do you lose that battle to Nunez and then turn around and cry arse to the ref? Stand your ground, show you're a physically stronger player and defend. Then worry about the whistle. Do your job. And again, you feel like that lazy, languid, relaxed attitude is seeping in across the back four, and it's not good enough. Our captain should be leading by example. So today for Virgil, I'm giving him a 4, and the Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a score of 3.7 for Virgil. Next up, the biggest defensive culprit of the day for me, Ibrahima Konate. You could see it from the very start of the game. His head wasn't in there today. He was making sliced clearances, being out of position, being weak, being clumsy. And for the goal, the first one, he turns 360. Doesn't know where his man is, doesn't know where he is, doesn't know where his position is, and just makes a mess of it. Catches Curtis Jones by surprise, then the ball ricochets off him and Fulham score. But Konate was shocking today. A player who we all love, but let's be honest, that was an awful performance. And now not having that central defensive player to come in and make a difference, like I've said all season, now you can see why you need those extra challenging players. Because he didn't turn to Kwanzaa, so clearly doesn't feel like He's the one that needs to come on. And why was he sent out for the second half? You pulled Jarell Quansah off at the start of the season against Ipswich for less, and Konate again today was left way too long on that pitch. So I'm giving Ibu a score of 3, and the Anfield Agenda audience have got a little bit higher with a score of 3.1 for Ibu. Next up, Curtis Jones. Difficult one this for Curtis. Again, starting the game in a position that's one he's not accustomed to. But again, I thought he kept going, kept trying to make things happen, and was certainly not the worst player out on the pitch by any stretch of the imagination. So for me today, I don't really have a lot of negative to say about Curtis. I'm going to give him a 6.5 because I thought he played decent. And the Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a 5.2 there for Curtis Jones. Next up, Ryan Gravenberch, who somehow ended up at this game playing left-sided centre-back at the end of it and still looked not out of place. He's a great footballer, but we need more in and around him. We need more creativity from that midfield, and today Dominic Szoboszlai wasn't at the races. Gravenberch, though, I thought can hold his head high. I've given him a score of 7, and the Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a 5.4. So I'm trying not to be too reactionary with some of my scores here today and take out some of those defensive mistakes, and this game could have been looked at differently. So for me, the midfielders, they're not really to blame for this one today as much as the defence are, and some of the attackers, and we'll move on to them in a moment. Next up, Alexis McAllister, who was your Anfield Agenda man of the match, and thank you to everyone that took part in that vote. I thought Macca scored a great goal today. And again, never shy of looking for the ball, trying to make things happen, getting forward. I thought he had a decent game, in all honesty, and for that reason I've given him a good score of 7.5. The Anfield Agenda audience feeling very similar with an average score there of 6.8. Feel free to let us know in the comment section what you guys think about Macca's performance today. Before we move on to speak about, well, the rest of the players, just a quick reminder that the tickets for our end of season shows at the Hot Water Comedy Club are on sale right now, and you can get your tickets with the link in the description of this video. Right, we're moving on. Let's talk about Dominic Szoboszlai. The manager was perfectly within his rights to take him off. I don't think Dom had a good game there today. And again, our inconsistencies of performance and our lack of real creativity from midfield is becoming a pain, because if Salah isn't at it like he wasn't today, then we're either hoping for a worldie, the likes of which Macca did step up and score today, or a defensive mistake or something. But we need to create more chances and stop these aimless balls into the box to nobody. Dominic Szoboszlai is somebody who I really, really like, but today he wasn't at his best. So I've given him a 5, and the Anfield Agenda audience feeling similarly with a score there of 4.7. Cody Gakpo, I thought he was awful. Really like Cody. Certainly contributed a lot this season, but hasn't looked fit for a while, and today was not causing them any problems. Not really able to go around the outside too much. Coming inside, running into traffic and not really making much happen. Didn't really get involved in an attacking sense in the final third. Just thought the game passed them by, and it was a relief to see Luis Diaz come on. So, being honest, I'm giving Cody a 4, and the Anfield Agenda audience have gone for a score there of 4.6. Now, Mohamed Salah. If we want to talk about standards and the standards of our club and setting them, he shouldn't play against West Ham. And so there are already going to be people saying I'm hating on Salah in the comments on this, but I'm trying to be fair. That's 4 games now he's been anonymous in. 4 games where he's been way below his best, whether it's because Trent isn't there or not, doesn't really matter. We've seen other players step in and try to make things happen. Mo was very lethargic, and every time he did get possession, for me, a lot of the time anyway, every time's unfair, but a lot of the time, he was turning sideways and going backwards. It's not good enough from him. He's better than that. And the manager needs to show him that there are ramifications for poor performances. So for him to stay on for the entire game again today, I thought was a mistake. And for me, he shouldn't start against West Ham. So I have given Mo a 3. And the Anfield Agenda audience, again, they're feeling similarly. 3.4 for them. And a reminder, I don't know the audience's scores before I do these videos. I find them out as we go through each scroll. Same as everyone else. Diogo Jota, not good enough, again. Missed a chance at the start of the second half, which could have changed the pattern of the game. And look, it was a decent save from Leno. Jota at least got a strike away and it was on target, but he should have scored in that position. And Diogo Jota is somebody who, for me, would be on the for sale list this summer. So I've given him a 4 today, and the audience think that's too generous, and have gone for an average score there for Diogo of 3.6. But I want to know in the comments, would you sell Diogo this summer as well as Darwin Nunez, or do you think there's still time for Diogo to have a big part to play in the Arne Slot era? Luis Diaz, a quizzical one as to why he didn't start the game. The only thing I can think of, to be fair to the manager, is that he thinks he has two very good left wingers. Diaz put a lot of effort into a very good performance against Everton midweek, and maybe felt like it would have been too much to play him again. But you could see the difference he made when he came on. Gave us a different angle to our attack, a different threat to that Fulham defence. And yeah, just did well when he came on. So for me, he starts again next week. And I've given him a 7. And the audience agree with a score there of 7.2. Harvey Elliott, another one that you're left thinking, why is this kid not given more opportunities? Because he makes a difference. He makes the game move quicker. He creates pockets of space. He moves the ball quicker. And he just sets up more attacks than a lot of the other players in and around that position. It's baffling why he doesn't get more chances. He should get more chances. And if he doesn't, well, let's be honest, it's just down to Arne's stubbornness. So for me, Elliot gets a 7.5 because I thought he was great when he came on. And the audience have gone for a 6.7. Darwin, I'm just counting down the days until it's time for the season to be over and Darwin to move on. He didn't do anything wrong today, but it was again another one where he comes on and you're kind of left just underwhelmed, really. Not by any means the fault of our loss today, but again, not taking any opportunities he's given by the coach. So I'm giving him a 5.5, and the audience have gone for a 4.6. Bradley, I thought he made a huge difference when he came on. His driving runs from midfield into the forward line, his ability to link up with Mohamed Salah and other attacking players and create for Jota's goal, or excuse me, for Diaz's goal as an example. Lovely little ball played inside from him, and Diaz, good finish past the goalkeeper. So for me, Conor Bradley, now that he's fit, should be starting ahead of Trent and everybody else for the remainder of the season. So I've given him a 7, exact same as the audience. Chiesa, I mean, deja vu, right? Comes on, 8 minutes is what he was given. 8 minutes plus stoppage time. He had a shot on target, he had another shot saved, and it created 3 or 4 other attacks that I can think of. And most importantly, looked like he wanted to be out there and battle for the team. So for me, against West Ham, he should start. And if Arne doesn't, again, that's an indictment to the manager. Score there for Chiesa, excuse me, I need to clear my throat, of 6.5 from me and 6.3 from the Anfield Agenda audience. And again, I think most of us would agree he should start the next one. Now finally, we move on to the manager, Arne Slot. And I said at the end of the watch-along that to me this defeat is on the manager. And I stand over that. He's rewarding mediocrity. He's shunning players who are putting in a better effort and want to be out there. And his stubbornness and his denial of what we're seeing with our own 2 eyes is astounding me. He said that he didn't think we played that poorly. He said that we played well in the second half. But is he joining in the dots as to why? Because we had more attackers on than defenders. Because we played with an intensity that we needed because we were chasing the game. And if we started with that intensity and we started with that same attacking threat and will to get forward and commit, then maybe we wouldn't be in these positions. So I don't like the style that we're seeing, the slow starts, the slow build-up play, and we're way better when we have the impetus to get forward and make things happen. So stop being so defensively minded, please. Stop being so passive in the way we start games and demand better from the players. So for me today, being honest, my assessment for Arne is a 5, and the audience, they think that's too high. They've gone for an average score there for Arne of 3.2. That is it for the Anfield Agenda player ratings, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your time as always, and thank you to our sponsors, Manscaped. A reminder that you can get yourself 20% off and free shipping store-wide at manscaped.com with our code Anfield20 or by scanning the QR code. We will be back tonight at 8:30 for the Late Night Agenda, where we'll go through this in far more detail. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to let us know your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll talk soon. Much love.